Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I wanted to talk about Prop 65 in California, Prop 65 fatigue, where you see this notice that every product is known to cause cancer in the state of California, our wiki extension for the Consumer Rights Wiki, and what we're trying to do here. So the consumerrights.wiki browser extension is an extension that aims to let you know when you're on the website of a company that has taken part in anti-ownership practices and tried to screw you. And the way that it does that is by looking up entries in the Consumer Rights Wiki and giving you an alert. So over here, it says on futurehome.io, it has an alert, an incident, and it says Future Home Smart Hub mandatory subscription fee. The reason that this is here is to let you know when you go to this company's website that they have tried to make it so that you have to pay $117 a year after they go bankrupt to continue using features that used to be free. This is an underhanded anti-ownership practice, the ability to reach into somebody's device and change features and functionality that used to be free just because you've decided you're not making enough money. Most people don't have the time to research these things, which is why this browser extension exists. And the thing I like about it is it lets you know immediately with citations. It gives you a brief description, and if you want to learn more, you can see all the different citations down below, screenshots, everything, news articles, so that you can confirm for yourself that this is true. Most people who work 10 to 12 hours a day and go to school and have families don't have time to research every single little detail of every single product they buy to figure out if the product they're buying is taking part in these anti-ownership practices. And this does a great job of that. The reason that I'm talking to you today is because we have a problem with this browser extension, not necessarily the extension, but the wiki and the way that it works that requires the help and input of all of you to fix it so people don't get fatigued. You may notice that when you buy products in the United States, many products have these notifications on them. It's a Prop 65 California notification that says this product may cause cancer, is known to cause cancer in the state of California. And most people ignore this at this point because they see it as spam. I once bought a chair on Amazon, and the chair from Amazon told me that it's known to cause cancer in the state of California. So it just became a meme. It's a joke. Everything causes cancer in the state of California. Now, if they had told me something more useful there, I might believe them, or at the very least, Google it. If it said something like, this uses beryllia extract whatever, and when beryllia extract whatever touches your skin, it melts your skin, goes inside your body, and creates cancer cells, and then linked me to news articles about it, I may not believe it, but I'd at least Google it or something, right? But if you're just going to tell me everything causes cancer in the state of California without giving me any info, I just immediately ignore it. I think that notification is spam. That's the way our brain works when it's inundated with information in that way. Now, here's the problem with the browser extension as it currently exists. Let's see what happens when I go to cisco.com. When I go to cisco.com, it lets me know that there's an article in the wiki about the company, but it doesn't give me any of the issues. It says American tech company known for manufacturing, networking, hardware, and software, and that's it. Now, if I see this every time I go to a website and it doesn't tell me the issue, I'm eventually going to just hit X and say, fuck this extension. It's giving me information that I don't need. So to explain why this is going on, let's just go over how this extension works. The first way the extension works is it looks up whether that company exists in the wiki based on a list of websites. So we have an article on Future Home. This is an incident article. It is not a company article. You have to have a company article in addition to an incident article. You can see here when I type Future Home into the top that we have two pages. We have the company page and the incident page. On this wiki, we have two different types of pages. So if let's say I wanted to make an article over here, create new article, you can make an article for a company and an incident. Now, even if you create an incident article, it's not going to show up unless you have a company article. However, if you create a company article without creating an incident article, then you just have this, where it just shows you the company description. The Cisco page has this information up here in something called cargo. When you hit edit source on an article, you'll see that Cisco Systems has website, cisco.com, and then it has its description over here. The article itself actually does include issues, but because they're not separate incident articles, they don't show up over here. So you'll see on the page, removing access to critical downloads for products that are end-of-life support, complicit in implementing state-operated censorship in China, requiring a service contract to download firmware for products that are in support, withholding bug details from companies without a service contract. These are all issues, but they don't exist in the wiki as incident pages. And because they don't exist as incident pages, they're not showing up over here. But the information is in the wiki. It is in the article. It's just it's on the company page without its own incident page. And that is why you're seeing pages where it'll give you this information, but it doesn't actually tell you what the issues are. In order for it to tell you what the issues are, there have to be incidents that are linked to that company. There have to be incident pages created. Now, the problem that we're going to run into here with the way the wiki works is if we don't have incident articles created for the company, then you're just going to end up with this Prop 65 looking thing where it tells me American tech company known for manufacturing, networking, software, and hardware, but I don't care about that. that there's not an issue there. And then people are just going to ignore the information the extension provides them because they're going to feel like they're taking part in information overload. If I go to Claude.ai, American AI startup founded in 2021, prominently known for their family of LLMs named Claude. Again, this doesn't tell me if Anthropic has done anything bad. It just tells me they exist. And my mind is going to see this as fucking spam. And I want to avoid that happening. So here's where I need the help of all of you. What I need from all of you, very importantly, is to help me come up with a system that works. And we have a chat room for the wiki that I'm linking to down below. It's something called Zulip. Think of Zulip like an open source version of Discord that doesn't suck. And I'll include the link and everything for that down below. Now, the thing that we need to figure out here is what to do. Behind door number one, we can just have a toggle that says, don't show me a company page if there are no incidents for that company. That seems like the easiest thing to implement in the short term. Behind door number two, what we could really use are people that go through every single company in the wiki, and if there are incidents that exist in the article page, but that don't have their own incident page, asking you to create those incident pages. So for instance, over here, Cisco Systems, removing access to critical downloads for products that are end of support. This could have its own incident page. If you believe that these incidents rise to the level of requiring an incident page, make those incident pages so that they actually show up. Behind door number three, asking the community to do this doesn't work at all, so have some sort of Grokpedia-like shit where it just automatically tries to make incident pages for all of these, which is really not the option that I want to go for. Option number four, something that you propose. What do you propose? I want to make sure that this browser extension evolves in a sustainable way so that it's very useful to people, so that they get useful alerts. I want to make sure that the alerts that people are getting are stuff like this, related incidents, and when you click it, and you can immediately see how the company has fucked you, rather than getting this, which is going to lead to, in my opinion, people just clicking off the extension and saying, this is just spamming me with too much stuff. This is not really necessarily an extension problem so much as it is an infrastructure and wiki problem. It's an extension problem to the extent that it doesn't have a toggle to just avoid showing you companies that have no incidents. But it is an infrastructure problem to the point where people are going to put short summaries of what that company has done on the company page of the wiki without making an incident page if it's something that's not necessarily something that needs its own article. Like complicit in implementing state-operated censorship in the People's Republic of China. Is that really an anti-ownership issue that is in scope for the Consumer Rights Wiki? That's a question for Keith, but the fact that it's even a question then brings up the problem that I'm discussing with you. So if you want to be open and a part of the discussion on how to make this better, I'm going to include a link down below to a chat room. Fuck Discord, I'm not touching that shit with a rusty spoon anymore. I'm going to leave a link down below for anybody that wants to talk about this issue, discuss this issue, and be in the room with the actual developers and the managers of the wiki so that we can figure out how to make this better. And if you want to make these articles better, if you want to create incident pages for companies that don't have incident pages, if you want to work on this problem at all, I welcome you to be there. But I want to make sure that this does not get abandoned because it gets seen as Prop 65 spam, and I want to make sure that the community is involved in the development process as we move forward because I can't figure this shit all out by myself. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye now.